Hello, folks. Welcome to the Scumdog's Kennel. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not because my internet's going kind of wacky right now, but I am streaming, so I do see this. So be sure to check in and enjoy this stream and stuff. For some reason, my sound isn't working. I can figure that out later. But till then, let me get up while we wait for people to go into the chat. Let me get some pictures up from my upcoming Scumdogs graphic novel. Let me go over here and get this stuff up. All right. Let's see here. If my stream suddenly cuts out, I'm sorry. My modem appears to, it appears to be working right now, so I'm going to go do this stream and stuff because it just started working really well. But don't worry. I'll stream with you as long as I can. But just a moment, I have to go out and do something quick. And I'm back. Everything appears to be working, so that's a good thing. So don't worry, folks. I'll continue to live stream with you guys. But I just have to go do something right here. Put that back up. Let me put this here. Let me get this stuff up here, and then we'll be, here we are. Let me go get over here and make sure we're still streaming. Yeah, it looks like we are. Thank God. Let me get this up here and stuff. Screenshots. Oops, wrong one. Pictures. Here we are. Let me get this stuff up so we can look at my artwork and we'll have some fun. Had to do a bunch of stuff just to do this. Let me get this up here. Right. I'm glad that I am streaming again. Let me go back over here to see if we have. Oh, we have someone watching us. Welcome to the Scumdog's Kennel. As I said, I've been having some trouble with my internet today, so if this stream cuts out, I'm sorry. But it looks like everything's back up again. So let me get some pictures up for us to look at. And we'll have some fun. All right. Let me go to share screen. Here we are. And voila. Yeah, voila. Here we are. Let me go over here. Here's some artwork that I used to design Hair Metal Doctor's face. I based him on Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe, Toe Cutter from the Road Warrior, and Ozzy Osbourne. You can see I drew them up here and stuff, and well, these sketches of them are really great, huh? Then I mixed their features together and came up with these three features. The middle one is pretty good. All of them are pretty damn good, but none of them are actually what Hair Metal Doctor looks like. Here we have a page with with Papa Snore, my parody version of Papa Smurf. He's also a crossover. He's also partially based on Mr. Roger. He's the leader of the Snores. Looks good, huh? Looks pretty fun. And in fact, let me get this up here and this here up as well. Let me go back over. Here's a page with a death mug on it, and you can see I really did well with the face. Gotta love it. Let's see here. I didn't find that one, did I? Here we are. Here's another page with Buick. Here's a page with Buick Starpoon on it. Let me go over here and we'll look at the colored version of some of my artwork. As I've said before, this is one of the best colored pieces I've done. If I compare it to the black and white, it still looks a bit better, but the color version came so good and stuff. Looks very great, huh? Now, if you want to, leave chats and we can talk about what you guys want to talk about. And in fact, since I'm right here, let me see. Yep, we're still streaming and it looks good. Let's go over here. Looks damn good. Looking damn good. Let's see. Let me get some more artwork up. Here's another couple of pictures that I used to design Hair Metal Doctor. As you can see, there's a couple of sketches of Ozzy Osbourne here. Looks pretty good. I also gave Hair Metal Doctor here Ozzy's glasses. Stuff. Here's one of the first page. Here's the first page of my graphic novel. You can see it looks good. But if I compare it to the black and white version, the art is still good, but it could be better. All right. Here's this. Yeah, damn good. Might have to I'll definitely have to recolor this page. But otherwise, it looks very, very good. Very good. All right. Let me let's go over here. Here's another page with a Buick Starpoon on it, and as well as Death Mug. God, I love this page. I really love what I did with the face here. Looks great, huh? Looks very good. Let's see. Here's some artwork I did of Miss Bristy Mellons, where I used to design her. I based her on a woman from the prostitute from The Man with Two Brains. I thought she was very hot, so I designed a character after her. As well. Here's the pinup, the black and white art of the line art of the pinup I did of Hair Metal Doctor. Looks good and stuff. And here's another page. Let's check out the colored version of this page. I have it right down here. But first, let me show off the first cover I did for this Scumdogs graphic novel. Fully colored. It came out very good, don't you think? Look at this. The purple guy with the silver mask is Death Mug. The blue guy with the top hat is Murder Mouth. And the pink guy is Sloppy. Behind him are E.T. Allen and another guy, Scumdogs. And you see them all chasing down my parody version, my parodies of the Smurfs, the Snorers. The background is cartoony, and you can see the sun very looking sad as he watches what's going on. It just looks good. Huh? I gotta love what I did with the running motion. Just looks good. There's a lot of energy to it, and you can see him just pushing off of his feet as he runs. Well, as all of them run. All right. I really worked hard doing this page, on this cover, and I love it, don't you? But I might recolor as well as go back and add a few more Scumdogs in the background coming out of that portal. The purple thing back there is a portal that they emerged out of. So I might have to think about doing that. Definitely go back and redo this entire thing. It shouldn't be too hard. All right. Let's see. Let me go and make sure we're still streaming again, and we are. Let me go back over here. We're 10 minutes in. We're doing pretty damn good. As I said, here's this picture with Papa Snore on it. His mustache is a carrot leaf and stuff, and it looks pretty damn fun. Let's get this up here. Here's another There's another page. I love this page. It looks so cool. All right, we also have this here. Let me do this and blow this up a bit. As you can see, the background here, the landscape I did on this panel looks so cool. Let me go back over here and show this off. There's this page. There's the black and white art of that page. Compare them. See, compared to my later coloring efforts, this isn't as good as what I did. And the glass in the background could have done better. But otherwise, it looks great. The black and the white art just is good. And I'm enjoying what I see. All right. But when I compare it, looks very good. Problem here, maybe it looks a bit stretched in areas. Let's take a look at this and stuff. Here's the line art for Hair Metal Doctor. Let's blow up his face. Gotta love the features on him, huh? And let's go over to the pinup of Miss Breasty Melons. Let me blow that up a bit. Gotta love her face. Look at her smiling. She looks so cool, don't you think? Gotta love what I did there. You see the current pages I'm working on. They're coming out great. My graphic novel, Scum Dogs, the graphic novel is going to be, is going to be good. It's going to be so good, you're going to love it. All right, let's do this. Let's go over here. Let's see. Here's the pinup from Miss Breasty Melons, and here's the actual artwork for it. Comparing them, you can see the different from others. There, I cropped it a bit to get it all in there to make it as clear as possible. You can see her smile is pretty good. All right. Damn, it came out damn good. All right, let's see this. Now, if I go over here, here's Hair Metal Doctor. Let's go to his pinup. This is one of my best pieces of work. If you compare it, you can see the coloring really brought it out. It just looks great. You can see his patient in the background screaming. You can see Hair Metal Doctor himself singing a song and basically just looking awesome, as I said. All right, let's go here. Let's make sure I'm still streaming a bit. Good. Looking over here, 13 minutes in. Let's continue with this. As I said, as I've said before, these pinups, they'll be out on T-shirts and stuff, being part of the graphic novel. But before the graphic novel comes up, I'll have T-shirts with this design and this picture out on it, as well as other Scum Dogs characters, as well as Girl Friday, Roadhog, and Buick Starpoon himself will have their own T-shirts. So be sure to go buy them once I do have them designed. And they will be coming. I love what I'm doing here. Huh? Just looks so awesome. All right. I'm glad my internet is back and that I'm able to have fun with you guys again. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get this out today. But hey, we're doing good. Let's go. Maybe look at some more art up here. Look at Buick Starpoon again and stuff like that. I really worked hard on this page, on all of these pages, and they came out very good. There's this page too. Look, here's some artwork. I love the expression on Papa Snore here. He looks angry in this panel. Then he looks, this is Snorlings ask him and stuff. He's yelling. And then we have this artwork here of the Scum Dog right past Goldbladers, Shuishi god of war and tea time, as they pass through the dimension. There's also, alongside Death Mug, Murder Mappy. There's E.T. Allen and Schortenstein. And gotta love the artwork here and stuff. Now let's go back over here and let's go out and look at some other stuff now. Let's go to Indiegogo first. Yes. All right, getting this up. Just a moment, folks. Let me exit out of these right on here. I don't want to take the chance that maybe I'm taking too much out of this. Here's this and this. Go over here. Let me get this up here. And also, I think maybe exit out of some of these. Maybe, yeah, I'll leave this. All right. That's a mistake there and stuff. All right. Now we have this up here and stuff. I'm doing like that. I'd have to do something about that panel. That was a mistake and stuff. Now, let's see, look at this and stuff. This here. Oh, yeah, I was going to look at comics. Just a moment. It appears to be acting slow. Ooh. All right. Oh, yeah, I was going to go over bounding into comics. All right, let's see. I'm still streaming. Do I have any chats up? Nope, not by more people watching at least. Or Batman writer Tom King, Jim Lee, going after Comicsgate, huh? George R. R. Martin provides update. New Warhammer 40k player co-op game announced. All right, let's see here. Friday, right along, actor Ice Cube wants reparations from Hollywood studios. Reparations from Hollywood studios for being you're a rich actor, Ice Cube. You've done lots of stuff. What do you want reparations from Hollywood for? None of them have anything to do with slavery. This is stupid. Reparations from Hollywood. Well, okay, fine. Go ahead, they'll get reparations. They'll just make Hollywood's death all the quicker. So let's take a look at this article. All right. A former NWA rapper and now family film actor Ice Cube detailed he wants Hollywood studios to pay reparations to black artists, directors, and why? I mean, yes, Hollywood is full of scum who uses people, but why do they need to make reparations? The only good thing is there's no good thing about this. At least Hollywood is going down in flames. Ice Cube is demanding the reparations for all the damage they've done to black people. Okay, yeah, they have done harm to black people. That is true. It's also done harm to white people and every other race because they insist on, doing identity politics as well as portraying people as idiots. But then again, they're trying to make story. They're also a bunch of greedy bastards. So you can have them make reparations for the damage they do because they have done damage to people, but not just black people. The Friday actor made his demands known in an interview with the Breakfast Club earlier in the week. Towards the end of the interview, Ice Cube is asked by Angela Yee, another thing you talk about is representation in the entertainment industry. There is already lots of representation. Black people have been making movies for years and stuff. And you're going about they need reparations and stuff like that. Ugh. I mean, yes, Hollywood has done damage to people because it's Hollywood. But this race thing has nothing to do with it. They'll do this to anybody. And reparations for that as well. So I would love for you to expand on that because that is something you know way more than us. He's a stupid actor, lady. He doesn't know more than you do. Ice Cube responded, virtually all the studios who contributed in our narrative, in our pain, in our misrepresentation, stealing our history, and giving it to white people for over 100 years. So I think these studios that we know and love should kick into a studio that's run by black people with no outside influence, and whose movies and projects are owned by those black people, he continued. More drivel. More unbelievable drivel. And I'm sure these people will not be total idiots who got these jobs just because they were black. And that these movies will... Those black artists, those black directors and writers and people who put the projects together should own the projects, and these studios, they license and the projects, the movies, or the TV shows, or whatever, or they don't have to. We can put them in our own streaming services. Oh, more streaming services. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. You won't lose more and more money. It's a form of reparations from the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry doesn't need to make reparations. It's what it is. It's a vampire. It has hurt and damaged people. But you don't get money from that. It's not about a race thing. This Hollywood is a bastard. If they all had to invest in a certain amount of money into the studio each year as a payment for all the damage... So basically, you don't want black people to want the white people to pay for it, or basically give money to it. Basically, you want people to rent this studio. Well, they're not even really renting. You want them to give money to the studio while other people make movies in it, huh? That's not going to work. It's just going to lose money for all the damage they've done to black people. He added. But yes, Hollywood has done damage to people, to white people, to black people. That's just what it is. It doesn't care about you. It just wants money. He then explained why you're not a real artist if you are not controlling the narrative of your art. That's just it. An artist not true if he cannot control his own narrative. More narrative. He has to control his own narrative, huh? Well, we don't want your narrative. If you want to do something, make good movies. But I don't think you've ever really done that, have you, Ice Cube? More of a project and something like that. He later added, we should have a place to go where we know our movies are going to be done right. That don't mean we don't ever do another movie with MGM or Warner Brothers or Universal or whoever. That don't mean we never do another movie with them. Ice Cube continued. That means every artist I know, every great actor or director or writer has 10 projects they can get made because some white people don't understand what they're trying to make, and that's a shame. So we don't need our own, please. So we need getting these white people might have the idea that maybe a lot of these projects aren't going to make money and make these movies knowing that they're either headed by imbeciles or the projects would never see the light of day if they weren't basically being trumped up by race relations, and that they're just going to lose money because white people aren't going to go see them, black people aren't going to go see them because most likely they're going to be nothing but garbage. Heart garbage. No, okay, not even heart garbage, just garbage. I know we are doing it, and I'm extremely proud of Tyler Perry and what he's doing. But that man had to do what with his own two hands, and I think there needs to be a place where Hollywood pays for what they've done to our people. The Boys in the Hood actor stated, he elaborated, because cops learn how to kick our ass watching TV when they are little. That's when they learn it, and that they grow up. Cops when they are little, right? Cops aren't basically born cops, and you're about as guilty of that as anyone else for making movies. And Tyler Perry, well, he appears to be way more of a man than you are, because he did it with his own two hands without anyone basically giving him money. Yet you want people to give that money so that you can do this. Yes?
671. Royals.
Oh.
They're playing.
Good. I'll watch it later. I'm looking at this right now.
Channel 671.
Yep. As you heard, I'm a Royals fan, so that's good. But as I said, Ice Cube here, he doesn't even basically hold up the fact that Tyler Perry is doing it with his own two hands. He wants other people to pay for these horrible mistakes and bad movies that'll be made. Look, I saw this on the NYPD Blue, and they grow up to become, I can't believe this. Because cops learn how to kick our ass at watching TV when they are little. That's where they learn it. And they grow up and become cops and say, I saw this on NYPD Blue. This is how you are supposed to do them. Or I saw this on The Wire or some other shit that shows us going to jail. So it's Hollywood's burden as well. They are not innocent, and then they get away with just ain't never hurt nobody. That's bullshit. As I said before, you're also responsible for this as well, Ice Cube. So you shouldn't basically be pointing fingers, because you're responsible. Let's go over to chats. No, but I have more people watching us. Thank God. Later in the interview, he would be asked by Charlemagne that the God I read Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's article and heard that what Charles Barkley had to say. And since you were talking about Hollywood, they said some of the things you said were anti-Semitic. What has been the response from some of your Hollywood connects? Ice Cube responded, I didn't say anything. They can't point out nothing I said. They are claiming everybody together instead of looking at everybody as an individual. We are all awake. Yeah. So it's all right for you to go after being anti-Semitic, huh? And, well, call other white people racist and stuff. Or anyone else who doesn't agree with you. Don't shoot arrows at me because of the contact with Black America. Do not get it twisted. It's because I have a bigger plan. I have something that can really change things financially for Black people. Not really. You're having other people pay for it. And if these movies, he continued, and a lot of these companies are what I call cookie jar companies. Cookie jar companies are companies where we cut your hand in the goddamn cookie jar. We know you've been making money off of our pain, and you are going to pay for it. If they pay for it, that's not good, because those movies you want to make, what if they fail? As I said, no one's going to want to go see your movies, especially if you're just going to put agenda politics into it. Those movies will die, and then you'll keep asking for more money. And if you get your way, those companies will continue to bleed money to your company just so you can make movies that won't make money. Eventually, your company, all of it will fold in. All of those companies will fold, and you will have no one to get money from because your company will have failed as well. Those people will lose money, or they'll just say, no, we're not going to give you any more money, and your company will fail. This is why Hollywood is eating itself right now. This is basically Hollywood eating itself. He wants other companies to give him money so that they can make movies that they don't make money, will just eat up and basically continue to make, eat up their revenue. And basically, eventually, they'll lose all their money and they'll have nothing. And we are going to hunt you down, and we're going to hunt every company down that's been doing it, unless you come with a plan to pay for our sins. That's really why I'm being attacked. Our sins, huh? A lot of these companies didn't exist back when slavery existed. But a lot of these companies are guilty of being what they are, bloodsuckers. But I don't think you need to have them pay for it. because they're pretty much paying for it right now with all the gender politics and no one going to see their movies. And want to heap on more of gender politics and have them pay for it. And your monies will just, well, not make money, and they'll eventually fail, and everyone will basically, well, fail. Charlemagne the God would then ask, as a black man who has accomplished so much, do you really feel free? Ice Cube responded, no, because he's a goddamn communist. There's no way to feel free in America because I'm connected to our people, so I actually feel the pain. Blah, 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 you rich bastard. You haven't been in pain in years. He continued, you feel it in your bones. That's how I feel when I see something happen to one of us in the street. I feel it in my bones, and so I don't feel free. I feel like that person. Yeah, you feel like that person when you're basically in a mansion and have security guards and you are protected from all of this, you rich loony who wants people to pay him more money, who will make movies that will suck. I feel like that can happen to me, and that can happen to one of my sons. That could happen. No, you're rich, your sons are rich, and they're pretty much protected from any of this crap. To my daughter, that can be having my nephews, nieces, my father. It can happen to my mother. No, you're all rich, so no, that's not going to happen. He later stated, how the hell are you going to feel free in this country just because you got money? That ain't shit. It's what you need. But it don't bring freedom. It just allows you to maneuver a little better. It don't allow freedom. You want freedom, huh? You already have freedom. You're just making these lies up just so you can get even more money. As Cube mentioned, his comments came after he announced a contract with Black America. He revealed an updated version of the contract on Twitter. He wrote, we've been working with a lot of experts and great people during these last few. The document is much stronger and much more detailed than we were towards perfection. More crap. Perfection? Perfection. You're going to make crappy movies and not make any money. At least what I'm seeing here. A contract with Black America claims Black Americans are an oppressed people. Lies. Complete and utter lies. It begins after years of unequal treatment. Black Americans have had enough with gradual reform in a nation that prides itself as the world's greatest democracy. While well-intentioned solutions may well have been tried, it is simply too much to ask an oppressed people to stay patient. Listen, a half-black, half-white man became president. He introduced a bunch of reforms that were crap, but he still became president. You are not an oppressed people. If you're oppressed, then everyone's oppressed. And you're too stupid to realize that. The document specifically outlines demands from Hollywood. As you can see below, these demands include mandatory funding of black studios by the largest Hollywood studios, record companies, television studios, and that will most assuredly help, well, kill all of Hollywood and your own company, and you will not make any money. Network to compensate for years of lack of support, stereotyping, and damage to black culture. It also calls for licensing of public airwaves. To broadcast networks such as NBC, Fox, CBS, ABC must require black produced content equal to 20% of the total content. So you want to force stuff in there that no one's going to watch, especially forcing it. Now, for years, yes, Hollywood has basically used stereotypes to sell their products, but they've been doing it to white people and everyone else, not just black people, Ice Cube. And want to force companies that take in these products that probably no one will watch and lose money. They're already losing money. They're already doing this, and it's still losing money. I don't think it's going to work. Network is measured by time. Finally, it runs a minimum 13.4 black cast and crew on all major television film productions. 13% for black cast and crew on all major television. Not really. Wow, what if it's in like the Fantastic Four? They're all white. You made one of them black in the last movie, and it still failed. You had more black characters, and it still failed. It was a bad movie, but it just failed, and you're just going to make bad movies. It's occurred on my ear unproduced books. Entertainment industry and reform and reparations. Stuff we've already read through. That are like Hispanic Native American can be waived as reasonable for But casts that are overwhelmingly white, black, Hispanic, Native American, Asian can be wavered by reasonable for TV shows and films to be more reflective. Wavered. So basically, you just want more. So even if the cast is mostly white or mostly Hispanic or black, it can be wavered. You just want more TV shows with more black people in it. Okay, but what you just said, all TV shows must have a 13-point black cast and crew on all major television films and productions. This cast cannot be wavered, but casts that are overwhelmingly black can be wavered. The casts are basically you just shut yourself. You want this for all major television and film productions, but if the cast is overwhelmingly white or black or Hispanic or Native American, then that can be wavered for that project. You said one thing and then you go all the way to another thing that's the opposite. You're just making gobbledygook coming out of your mouth. Oh. Okay. Hello, folks. I'm back. Thank you for working there. Sorry about the trouble there. I'm back on, and I'm happy. We're having some fun, huh? I hope that it wasn't too much a thing, and that you guys didn't wait too long. Still got those. I hope those people come back. Right now, where was I? Yeah, I was. Charlemagne the God would then ask, as a black man who has accomplished so much, do you feel it for? No. Here we have Ice Cube saying, no, we don't feel free in America, even though you're rich. You're so rich. You say that you feel the pain of watching a black man who is being beaten by the police. You who are rich beyond all, well, most men's imaginations. You fear for your sons and your daughters and your other family members, even though they are rich too and are basically protected by security guards. Whew, yeah, that is so good, Ice Cube. He later stated, "How the hell are you going to feel free in this country just because you got money? That ain't shit." Well, it's the S word. It's what you need, but it ain't. Don't bring freedom. It just allows you to maneuver a little bit better. Don't allow freedom. As Ice Cube mentioned, his comments came after he announced a contract with Black America. He revealed an updated version into this contract on Twitter. He wrote, "We've been working with a lot of experts and great people during these last few weeks. The document is much stronger and much more detailed. We will continue towards perfection." No, you're not. There is no perfection. You're just going to make sure your company fails. You're going to force people to pay for it, and those companies will lose money, and your projects you make will most likely be, well, crap. He goes on, a contract with Black America claims Black Americans are basically, continue to be marginalized, eh? You're an idiot. It begins after years of unequal treatment. Black Americans have had enough with gradual reform in a nation that prides itself as the world's greatest democracy. While well-intentioned solutions may have been tried, it is simply too much to ask and oppressed people to stay patient. Listen, you're not an oppressed people. If you can't do it, it means those people just can't do it. Lots of black people have made it in this country. But then again, it is part of Hollywood's fault, and as well as the Democrats' fault, that they aren't helping black people in their communities. In fact, over the last 40 years, the black community has, made sure lots of black people have not owned businesses over the last 40 years. And it's basically because of the policies set out by Democrats, as well as Hollywood just basically continuing with the helpless black American, which you helped propagate, Ice Cube. The document specifically outlines demands from Hollywood. As you can see below, those demands include mandatory funding of black studios by the largest Hollywood studios, record companies. So basically, you want to hold these companies hostage and basically steal from them. Television studios and networks to compensate for years of lack of support, stereotyping, and damage to black culture. Yes, Hollywood has used stereotyping. In fact, you yourself have acted as a stereotype because that's how you made your money. Being a angry black man and getting all the money as much as possible. And now you want them to give you even more money. It also calls for licenses of public airways to broadcast networks such as NBC, Fox, CBS, and ABC must require black-produced content equal to 20% of the total content on the network as measured by time. Finally, it wants a minimum 13.4 black cast and crew on all major television and film productions. If already covered this, I'm sorry, but I have to cover it again. If you go minimum 13.4% black cast and crew on all major television and film productions, the cast requirement cannot be wavered, but casts that are overwhelmingly white, black, Hispanic, Native American, Asian, etc., can be wavered as reasonable for TV shows and films to be more reflective of reality. So basically, you said all major television and film productions must have a 13.4 black cast and crew. But if the cast of that movie is overwhelmingly white or Native American or Asian, then it can be wavered and stuff because that's the way this movie is supposed to be. So you say everything must be like that, but then go back and say that. That's just drivel and insanity. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Then he goes on to say, what do you think of what's going on here as he basically hello, folks. I'm back. I'm glad we're here. Hopefully, you guys can hear me again. And we're back again. We'll continue on this. If you saw at the end of this, as I said before, Ice Cube just wants money. He wants basically people to pay for his. He wants the major studios in Hollywood to pay for black people to make their own studio, to make their own films that most likely will suck because they'll probably have a bunch of people who don't know how to make actual movies. Because, well, Ice Cube is just an actor, and as you can see, anytime an actor goes out and basically sounds like he knows what he's talking about, he is basically proven to be an idiot. Don't listen to anything this guy says. It's just more bull. If my live stream keeps cutting out, I'll try to get back on as quickly as possible. Now, former Batman writer Tom King that DC Comics artist Jar Lee is part of a hate group. More bull. Let's look at this. Former Batman writer and current co-writer of the upcoming New Gods film, Tom Moran here, recently took to Twitter to insinuate the DC Comics artist Jar Lee is part of a hate group. King's insinuation comes after DC Comics revealed Lee's variant cover for Rorschach's One that is written by King and artist Joe Fergus. Rorschach, eh? Uh-huh. DC Comics has announced that Jar Lee would be doing a variant cover for Rorschach 1 back on July 15th. You can see a screenshot from DC Comics website below announcing Jar Lee's cover. Rorschach 1 by Tom King, George Phillips, will publish on October 13th, 2020. More crap, huh? Leave Rorschach alone, huh? King specifically, they're basically telling about the book there. King specifically wrote on Twitter today, DC put out an alternate cover by Rorschach by Jar Lee, who has also done covers for Comicsgate, a hate group. Comicsgate isn't a hate group, and you idiot, don't know anything. He added, DC does not consult creators or on alternate covers. I reached out to them to express my deep disappointment. As far as I'm concerned, this is the cover of Rorschach 1. He then shared an image for the first cover by George Furness, the DC Comics released with the initial announcement about the Rorschach series. More bull. Ugh. It is quite unclear why King would just now be taking issue with Lee's variant cover when it was announced over a week ago. It's possible he wanted to make a bigger splash, or it could be the fact that Ethan Van Sciver calls, and our boy Zach called Tom King an idiot writer who doesn't know how to write Batman, and was rightfully taken off of Batman because he blew at it. He can't write Batman. On social media, given DC Comics just showed off what Lee's cover would look like. Lee is doing a variant cover for Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog 2 Rectoplant, which is currently crowdfunded in Indiegogo and is backed by over 900,000 people in the tune of 1,044,972. As you can see, Lee's Cyberfrog 2 variant. Looks awesome, doesn't it? Van Sciver responded to King's insinuation about Lee saying, "This is the strength thing you're doing. History will judge you for it." Let's see, am I still streaming? Yes, I am. Thank you. And I have, people watching me again. I'm sorry about this. Lee would also be providing covers for Boom Studios' upcoming Dune House Atreides series. Maybe the most interesting part of the statement is it sounds very familiar to former Batgirl writer Cameron Stewart's objections to Raphael Albuquerque's Batgirl variant cover that referenced Alan Moore's Killing Joke. Yeah, can't have anything that looks cool or awesome, right? No, it has to be bull. Back in 2015, Stewart objected to the cover writing on Twitter, "If you're concerned about artistic integrity," and you aren't at all, are you? This guy isn't. The guy who basically calls Ethan Van Sciver out, who doesn't have any real argument, even Ethan Van Sciver and, our boy Zach basically called Tom King out on his bad writing, or rather called Tom King out on his bad writing. Hey, folks, I'm still streaming here. I got back just now. I hope you didn't have to wait too much longer. Hope my stream just came back up and you didn't have to do that. Still got a few more minutes left before my stream is over. Let's go back to here. Like this and stuff like that. I'm just going to go from this. DC Comics would eventually pull the Albuquerque's cover. They issued a statement at the time that began, "We publish comic books about the greatest heroes in the world and the most evil villains imaginable. The Joker variant covers for June are in recognition of their 75th anniversary of the Joker." Their statement continued, "Regardless of fans like Raphael Correa's homage to Alan Moore's The Killing Joke graphic novel from 25 years ago are find it inconsistent with the current tonality of the Batgirl books. Threats of violence and harassment are wrong and have no place in comics or society." Finally, they concluded, "We stand by our creative talent and pre-Raphael's request. DC Comics will not publish the Batgirl variant." Stewart clarified DC Comics' statement saying that Albuquerque did not receive threats, but killing people objecting to the cover did. He wrote something to clarify because DC's statement was a little unclear. Raphael Albuquerque did not get threats. People objecting to the cover did. As I said, so you're telling me people who objected to the Batgirl variant with Joker holding Batgirl with his fingers looking like a gun, people objected to that. And those people aren't basically SJWs. And the people who basically making the threats aren't actually making threats. They are being critical of those people, saying that leave good art alone, allow this cover to be made, and that you have no right to basically have this cover pulled. But DC went and basically pulled that cover. But you're telling us the people who were critical of these people objecting to the cover, it basically counts as basically making threats against these people. Being critical of someone who wants to see something censored is not basically a threat. It's being critical of them, yes, and yet we can say what we want to say about it, like say stop doing that, and well, you're a complete cuck who doesn't like good artwork. But no, they're not making threats. They're not threatening them. Time will tell if DC Comics takes the same issue with Lee's variant cover for Roche H1. What do you make of Tom King's? What do you make of Tom King? What do you make of this? Tom King and Charlie. I think Charlie is awesome, and Tom King is an idiot. I hate what he's done. Now, folks, as I said, my modem is dying, and I've had it for 5 years, and it looks like my live streams now will basically a bit spotty now, but I'll keep trying to basically get online every day and making live streams. So don't worry, I'll try to make them as good as possible. And it looks like this one has gone and died again. I have one watching, so I guess it's still going. So yeah, it's still going. So I am still going. Thank God. Thank you for. Sorry about me yelling there for a moment. I thought it died. It basically my live stream had basically slowed up there. Sorry about that. I have been angry that my live stream has basically been dying, but don't worry. We have a few more minutes left, and then I'll end this stream. So I'm pretty sure that my live stream has this. Leave me a few chats. Did my live stream basically go neutral and no one was watching it? Was it like long periods of just nothing, or did basically my live stream just stop? And then when I got my live stream back up, it just instantly started going again. I'm sorry about that. As I said, and I don't have the money really to buy a new modem yet, so we'll have to get used to this. My modem has been working better now because I have been live streaming, so this is good. So I'm glad I was able to do this much for us, folks. And I'll get live stream for a few more minutes. So let's go look at this. Let's go to comics real quick. Let's see this. My light is still going on here. Yeah. Let's go to comic. there's with Hello, folks. I'm back again. We're an hour and 12 minutes in. It looks like it actually is still rolling on. All right, my live stream is going to be over in a few minutes, but hey, we had some fun. While we do this, let's go over to look at George R. R. Martin stuff. George R. R. Martin, the author and creator of Game of Thrones, is The Song of Ice and Fire, recently updated the next book in the series, The Winds of Winter. Okay? He wrote that writing stuff is hard, even so it's been going well of late, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. However, he said still a long way to go, though. Do not get too excited. We knew this. Yeah, a long way to go. Well, he's not writing The Winds of Winter, Martin. indicated he's been doing editorial work on 3 new Wild Cards books. How about just doing Winds of Winter, huh? Martin explained, in my copious spare time, have been doing some editorial groundwork. Copious spare time. If you have copious spare time on the new, if you have copious spare time, finish Winds of Winter on 3 new Wild Cards books, as well as pairing up in Sleeping Saddles and the Mosaic House Rules, where Agatha Christie, Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft, have a wild weekend. He added they should be fun, but we are in our early days, so you won't be reading any of them until 2022, I would guess. How annoying. He did tease that there's more wild cards content in the works for 2020 and 2021, but there's a lot of other wild card stuff already in the pipeline. What about Winds of Winter, the thing we really want from you? Finally stated, anyway, be good kids. Me and Frog are headed back to Westeros. In fact, Martin had previously announced earlier this month that the Wild Cards novel looks annoying. He teased the novel writing come meet the seamstress Enigma and Green Man Charlie Super Pod SM. Renew your acquaintances with Double Helix Captain Flynn Winston. Annoying. As for Winds of Winter and stuff like that, as for Winds of Winter, he promised in May winter. He previously promised the book would be completed by December 2020, and more specifically, before he arrived in the Weird World Science Fiction Convention. He promised it in May 2019, but I tell you this, if I don't have the Winds of Winter in hand when I arrive in New Zealand and for Worldcon, you have here my formal written permission to imprison me in a small cabin in White Island overlooking the Lake of Swilferk until I'm done. He added, just so long as the acid fumes do not screw up my old DOS world processor, the 78th World Science Fiction Convention is set to take place between Wednesday, July 23rd and Sunday, August 2nd. The convention will be happening, but it's going digital with Martin Simmons, the convention's Toastmaster. The book would not be done by the time of the convention. Yeah. Martin revealed in June that the book would not be done by the time of the convention. Yep, that's what I figured. He explained I'm spending long hours every day in the Winds of Winter making steady progress. He elaborated, I finished a new chapter of Wednesday, another chapter of 3 days ago, another one the previous week. But no, this does not mean that the book will be finished tomorrow or published next week. It's going to be a huge book, and it still have a long way to go. He also revealed the writing pace has significantly slowed way back in 1999 when I was deep in the writing of A Storm of Swords. I was averaging about 150 pages of manuscript a month. I fear I shall never recapture that pace again. Looking back, I am not sure how I did that. Did it then in a fever indeed. As for whether any of Martin's Song and Ice and Fire novel will be similar to HBO's Game of Thrones, Martin addressed. He told The Guardian they are not the same thing, although they are closely related to each other. In fact, he noted that the show's ending would not affect his novels. No, it doesn't. It doesn't change anything at all. As Rick Nelson says, one of my favorite songs, you can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. Okay. That sounds interesting. Looks like I'm down to the last few minutes now. We looked at some stuff. It looked interesting. I mean, all this, what we saw. It looks like what's happening with Game of Thrones is, well, we knew. Game of Thrones is just there. It's still in a hole, and we're still not anywhere closer to getting Winds of Winter. So all I can say is just go finish it, Winds of Winter, George R.R. Martin. Just give us what we want. All right? All right. All right, folks. I'm going to end this live stream now before it cuts out again. And if anyone's still watching, I'm sorry about that. Remember, folks, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel and stuff, as well as go and subscribe to my channels on BitChute and Library. I'll be back again tomorrow around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, or at least try to, for another live stream. So be sure to come back then. So be sure to come back then. Okay, folks? From the Scumdogs Kennel, I'm going to thank you all for sticking out and watching this stream, and have a good night. See you all later, folks.